Whoa, I mean, that's not how I would have put it. I would have been a little bit more respectful personally, but you know what? That's okay. We're gonna, I appreciate your analysis and I agree with some of those points, and we'll see if that ends up becoming important here as we get started with the Game 1 draft. Nongshim on the blue side, they had some ups and downs throughout their season as well, you know, bringing in players like Lehends and Kingen, certainly hoping that alongside some of their fun developmental pieces that this would have been a year for them to take another step forward. Unfortunately, never were able to fully get off the ground, ended up falling to D+ Kia in that qualifying series to get into that Worlds qualification bracket. But still an opportunity for them here to add some excitement as we get an Azir lock-in early here for Kalix, and the response on the other side will be a Kiana for Naiyou. Always fun to see a carry jungler get locked in, especially alongside Doinb's Rise, as we're letting the classics come through here in this Game 1 draft. Now the response for Nongshim. What will be the answer here for GIDEON, for Jiwoo maybe locking in something for Lehends? Cubby, what do you think they're gonna lock in? Wow, what a prediction! Going for the Xin Zhao of GIDEON. I mean, just incredible analysis here on the LPL English broadcast. But yes, that Azir, as you mentioned, alongside the Xin Zhao will provide a lot of usefulness, especially once level 6 is hit for Kalix in the mid lane. It's going to be a Corki to provide some consistent backline damage on Nongshim's side, and they've got a really nice composition lined up, at least to start off this first game. Got an Mbessa lock-in as the response for Solokill. This is a champion he's had a high level of success on as we wait for the second phase of bans. Top side's locked in. We're here for a good time on this ASI matchup. Again, the winner of this will join FearX in that quarterfinal, or in that playoff bracket, which I believe is double elimination as well. But that should be a fun thing to watch as we go forward over the next 3 days. Got Renekton banned away. Cubby, what do you think is going to be selected here by our top laners? Kingen and Solokill, both very influential parts of this team. Yeah, I would agree. The Sion would have been a big pick for Kingen, but instead, going to be banned away by NIP. I think in Aatrox, obviously, was shown to have some high impact on Nongshim's side over the last couple of games here in this tournament. Obviously, Kingen has that world skin on the Aatrox, had some experience on that champ in the World Finals. We'll see if that gets selected here by the Nongshim top laner as we go into the second phase of this pick phase. Looks like bot laners were targeted for leave, the Lucian and the Caitlyn. However, her signature Senna still available as well. We're waiting for the bot lane to be fully selected here on Ninjas in Pyjamas' side. It's been an interesting go of things. Hey, we had a sleeping producer, we had a sleeping color caster. Will we get a sleeping play-by-play? That is the true question. We'll see how the game goes. I got my Z's in today. I'm not gonna lie, but you know, never an opportunity to get more. A bad opportunity to get more, I should say. So we'll see if that ends up happening. Maybe by myself or by another member of the broadcast crew. I feel like it's harder as a play-by-play though. You guys always be able to pay attention as you know. By the way, got a Rek'Sai top lane locked in here for Kingen. Going up against this Mbessa, providing a lot of sustainability before the second wind and Doran shield buffs, or nerfs I should say, that come in. So this Rek'Sai champ going to be even stronger as we are awaiting the final selection here for Ninjas in Pyjamas. Who will it be? Likely looking for a support lock-in, and is Niket on the Bard to wrap things out. We got a fun time here on the ASI group stage here between Nongshim and NIP. We got double Corki locked in, seemingly, as there's obviously a bit of a visual bug. That will clearly be something. This is very impressive, by the way. Cubby said he was going to go grab a coffee after this break, which
I'm right here.
Oh?
How's it going?
What's up, man? Oh, we got Miami Cubby and LPL Cubby here. You just didn't want to cast draft, I guess, for this game. What's going on? What happened?
No, you know, not necessary.
All right, well, we provide.
It's gonna get wild later on, no matter what, you know.
We got some great analysis here. We were about to call another color caster. We were worried for you, bro. So I'm happy. I'm happy you're all good.
I was locked in from start to finish here, Grapes.
There, just the middle is where we had the slogan.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
We're gonna start strong. We're gonna end strong. That is obviously what we do here on LPL English. Any words about either your physical state or the game that we're about to watch here between NIP and Nongshim?
No, outside of this has been one of the more fun broadcasts I've had, given all you guys headaches.
That's brilliant analysis. As I said a couple times here as we were waiting to load up into game. NIP trying to break the curse of Nongshim. Obviously, we already have Weibo moving on to the playoff bracket, but will it be them and 3 LCK teams, or will there be an LPL team joining them? It's going to be what NIP is hoping to try and create here going into this game number 1. What's this mischievous look you got on your face right now? What's going on here?
Nothing. A good draft.
Yeah? What's your favorite part? What was your favorite part?
The part we got into the game. I mean, it's always the Brad. Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
It's a star could be born here in game number 1 of Nongshim and NIP. You know, we put in a lot of days, a lot of time and effort throughout the season here on this LPL English broadcast. And we thank all of you who were able to watch us, were able to support us on our coffee page, were able to do anything here. And I guess this is your reward. We get a little bit of fun to wrap up the year. And, hey, that's what these teams are going for as well, right?
This is what we work so hard for. See what side the Grasshopper chooses in the end.
Grasshopper chose NIP, by the way, so they are going to be the team that wins this, obviously.
Home team bias, you know. Can't blame him, as Kingen going to show his face down to the bot side.
Okay, this is my conspiracy theory, is that throughout the 2 series that I've been able to watch today, the Grasshopper very clearly has a bias towards his right side of the cage. And so I think that the producers put NIP on that right side, knowing that that's where our good friend Mr. Guo was going to go.
Do you think the Grasshopper went under any, you know, conditioning before this as to what
I think the conditioning was treat over on the right side, so you always go up to the right.
Do you think that, you know, outside of broadcast, like they might have used any outside tools or maybe something to make sure that they were sitting on a certain side of the case?
I'm not saying that that's not what they did, but
because I gotta say there was rather some shocking news that I've seen.
Come on.
From
come on.
Oh no, not PEDs.
No need to go over there on this stream. We're having fun watching League of Legends. It's great.
There was a zoom in on the Sejuani Poro, like the Poro Rider skin today, and I might have let what a joke rip on the co-stream, but that's fine. It was a co-stream, not the official LPL English broadcast. Where we are so intently waiting to see if really we're gonna get any of these swaps kind of panning out later on, or if we get anything normalized, because Kingen gonna be on his own here in the bot side, and man, the Rek'Sai Grapes. I don't know if you were with me to see the Shy play Rek'Sai on IG, but that was definitely a big pick for him throughout that regional gauntlet, as Rek'Sai definitely someone we're expecting to see more of in the top lane at Worlds.
However, second win just got or is that for next split, or is that for this Worlds patch? I'm not sure, but the D Shield second win tech with the healing.
Yeah, that's not for Worlds patch.
Okay, still going to be intact.
Sit, yeah.
I will say, been a big been a big abuser of that D-Shield second win as somebody who sucks in the laning phase. And you know, speaking of sucking in the laning phase, that's what Rek'Sai top lane generally does, is taking a bit of a beating from Leave here. However, going in with a knock-up, that bite doing a lot. However, 4-shot coming for Leave, not going to be able to find it as he burrows away. So Kingen able to survive down here. And hey, should be able to heal up pretty nicely given what this champion's able to do.
All right. Leave. Not going to contest any of the tunnels or the wave, as Gideon is going to get involved after his first base on the bot side, but not going to find the angle. As NIP, I got to say, Doinb Rise, definitely a champion that was denied a lot from Doinb and NIP throughout the year, and definitely fun to see him get his hands on it for this one, Grapes.
Get the classic CS combo, obviously, here. Yeah, I was surprised to see it unbanned, but hey, maybe this is just the fearless situation, because so often when you're watching NIP, you get things like the Doinb Rise, like a Senna from Leave, things like this targeted away. Lilia, Naiyou, remember those days? But looks like instead going to be Doinb actually getting his hands on the champion. Maybe both sides just agreeing, handshaking. Hey, let's have some fun, right? We got Kalix on the Azir as well. Feels like a very Nongshim composition that has been set up in Game 1, and going to be hopefully up to them to execute. I guess watch it as somebody who coming into this a little bit blind. What are your thoughts about how the draft looks for both teams and what the win conditions for each of them are?
I wish I could crescent guard myself from the criticism I'm facing from my co-caster here.
Yeah. Speaking of, we're talking about blindness in the Lee Sin. Maybe that's your thought process going into this draft.
More of a Gideon from Righteous Gemstones enjoyer here as the young Gideon on the Sin. No, I actually think that the single target topside here of Nongshim definitely potential to at least be a bridge to the late game carry of the Azir and the Corki, and I think they can deal with Ambessa later on, because I think that's kind of the big question is, will Solokill on the Ambessa take over the game later on if he's able to find the backline? So I think that's kind of the question to see if NIP scales throughout the game or not, if Ambessa can be effective in those fights later on, because I think there are a lot of tools to help deal with Ambessa in the hands of Nongshim.
And the champion that Solokill has been very strong on throughout the season. It's one of those newer additions to the NIP squad, joined partway through Split 2 as a way to try to revitalize this team a little bit. And hey, they had a great time in Group Nirvana, struggled a little bit once we got towards the playoffs, but we'll see if they can make something happen here on a King. And as Doinb realm warps down onto the Rek'Sai and will be able to take him down. Who will get that final blow? Kingen healing up rather nicely and dodging away from the overload. It's going to take a while to finish this one off, but finally the Rune Prison connects, and Doinb claims the first kill of the game for NIP.
Good combo there from NIP solo laner as Doinb able to help out Solokill, as the public execution was enough with the realm warp to get the kill. And yeah, Kalix going to get what he can in the mid lane, but still, proactive play from Doinb. It's a good one as him and Solokill sync up.
So Doinb on his signature rise, getting an early kill. Maybe took a little bit longer than he thought it was going to based off of the healing of the Rek'Sai. And a couple of spells missed, but hey, no harm, no foul. To get the curtain call being called out here by Leave. 4-shot going to take Jiwoo down to about 200 HP. It's just you flash away from that Cosmic Binding. So numbers advantage should be in for the side of NIP now, after the first couple of grubs have already been claimed. In goes Kalix, though. Nice flash away to make sure that there is no connection on the Emperor's Divide. That third grub going to be secured, but the first kill going on to Niket. Leave going very too far forward and will end up dropping as Jiwoo stays around to be able to finish this one off. Now we're looking for more blood as Naiyou dashes forward alongside Doinb and makes it 3-2 for NIP.
More good finds on the side of NIP as they don't come up with the grubs, but do come up with the first 3 kills on an aspect defeats going their way. As Doinb, the big benefactor off the early action. Sitting now at 2-0-1 as we get the replay. It's Naiyou. Gets the party started with a pretty slick Kiana combo. Dipping and ducking his way through, and the double flash there from NIP between Leave and Naiyou, able to get out of the engage from Kalix, and it really was the big difference maker as again Kingen falls.
Obviously, you're playing Rek'Sai top, going to be targeted in the early game. Your strength comes later on, where you could be both a dive threat and just a monstrous tank in those team fights. But at this point, struggling to be able to dish out any damage on a solo kill as he goes on to a 1-0-1 start alongside a 20 CS lead and a couple of plates.
It out until the dragon. Grapes gotta ask, you made your pick'ems yet? Your crystal
Not
ball?
Yet. Not yet.
No?
I gotta get on that.
Ooh.
Hey, we're starting Worlds up soon, isn't it? Isn't T1 IG like next week?
14th? No, yeah, it's the 14th.
Oh wow.
First day, and then World's main event starts the day after.
So how much how much of your LCK better than the rest of your takes do you have into your pick'ems? Is that just because you know it's not the best of fives yet? Are you predicting all four to make it through?
Yes, I am. As I have KT getting through. That's probably the most controversial.
Yeah.
But I was going to ask if you had any locks for the crystal ball. Anything you feel very confident about. If anyone wants to use it at home.
Don't even really. I'm not gonna lie, I don't even know what the crystal ball questions are. We'll get into that.
Oh,
in a
you're
second
gonna do some
get a
homework
dive.
then in the break screen.
Happening on the bot lane, Tempered Fate lands on it to Kingen. The deadly flourish does not connect. Kingen doing a really nice job surviving for as long as he possibly can. Will finally eat an overload from Doinb to get taken down again. Not a fun time to be a Queen of the Void in this game, number 1.
Some time bought though for the rest of the Noodle Boys. As some free time mid for Jiwoo on the Corki. He gets a wave in and the crash, and then maybe a dive coming into Solokill. Yep, Lehends, here we go.
Ooh, ultimate not connecting. So with one dive up on the bottom side, means another one here for Lehends and the rest of Nongshim. They take Solokill down. It's a nice chunk of cash put into the hands of GIDEON, as they'll be able to trade some plates as well and try to maintain the pace of this game. It's been NIP favored so far.
The first brick going to go into the hands of Doinb here. Big deal here for NIP is that does wrap up feats in favor of Ninjas in Pyjamas. So, feat secured. Rise definitely in very good shape. Again, a champion that Doinb oftentimes gets denied from himself and from the team. As NIP definitely looking to be in good position this game 1 with a 2K gold lead to try and take it for themselves.
NIP always a fun team to watch. In my opinion, was a real fan favorite, at least for us on the broadcast throughout Group Nirvana. I feel like a lot of us were rooting for both them and EDG to make some noise once we got into the playoffs. Fortunately, it didn't really happen past the play-in stage, although they both took down respective opponents in Group Ascend in Team WE and FPX. But obviously fell short once it came to playing up against stronger opponents in the playoffs. NIP, though, certainly always a fun team to watch when you got somebody like Doinb leading the charge. He has his super awesome games, and he also has some games where he tries to limit test a little bit, and that's what we love about this guy here in the LPL.
He's a fan favorite for a reason, though.
Yeah.
Doinb always plays to be the entertainer, and still plays this game at quite a high level, especially with how he sees it from a 5 perspective, moving around the map. Doinb, I mean, he had this team in really good shape in Split 1, right, Grapes? NIP. Doinb was the Split 1 MVP. Yeah, they were looking good and in decent shape, just couldn't convert anything better than a 5-6 finish in Split 1, despite being top of their group and Doinb winning MVP. And it's kind of all downhill from there as to their performance for the year as the Lehends. He's got a flash too, but can he get out?
Well, we've seen moments like this from Lehends time and time again, just being a little bit too aggressive, going to cost him a couple of summoner spells and that unbreakable will. As now the target could be Kalix, who tried to take a couple of plates. No root connecting just yet, but there's a supreme display of talent, really nicely executed by Naiyou on the snap engage, but in comes Lehends alongside GIDEON to try to make it a 1-for-1. They'll take Doinb down, and now the question is, how much more do Nongshim want to try and take? A teleport coming in from Solokill as they are waiting for this Ambessa to arrive underneath the tier 1 turret, but they will not go for any more kills. They will back away NIP and be happy with their 1-for-1.
Honestly, a nice fight from GIDEON and Nongshim, as he was able to do some work on the Xin Zhao. Well played on the skirmish. TP was used by Solokill to help protect this top side, and a lot of con spawning up there, but not for a while, as we're not even at the 15-minute mark yet. But Nongshim able to get some gold back on the map there, Grapes.
NIP 自己也阅读到这个阵容应该做的事情，但现在先锋要刷了。这一波的话，锐刺往下路去，有 TP 在手上，但这个下路兵线确实是需要一段时间才能够解干净的。啊，奇亚娜是没大招的，这轮的野区轮子奇亚娜刷在下半，但这样的话，下半区其实没有东西能够。I'm
trying to make you feel what I felt. Those first 10 minutes. That was my goal.
Well. At least you're keeping me on my toes now here, Grapes.
Dude, you held strong. You know, like sometimes at like the baseball games after the national anthem, the players will like there'll be two guys on opposite sides, and they'll do like a standoff, and they'll just like wait and just stare at each other until one of them goes back to the dugout, and then whoever goes back first loses.
Yeah.
You were holding strong. You were holding strong.
You know,
you were gonna try to say something.
So we have the Tempered
Drift!
Fate. Yeah, Tempered Fate shut down the Rift Herald there. Nongshim's still going to pick up the outer turret, or inner turret, I should say, on the top side. Yeah, so, Lehends, that was an oopsie. Uh-oh.
Ooh, we tried to get back in there. Popping the Unbreakable Will. Curtain Call going to slow him down, but not necessarily do a ton of damage, and now Kalix will be able to tank up that third shot before shifting away with his Sands. Yeah. We got Infernal Dragon spawning in 15 seconds. That is where Naiyou currently resides. We're going to chunk out Kingen a little bit. The Rek'Sai does have her first completed item now, which is going to be potentially important as we get into these mid-game team fights.
It was a replacement turret in the top side that helped Kalix bail out his friend in the support of the Hens, and not a luxury that Graves could be afforded of having someone bail him out during that draft phase that he is still hurting about.
Nope. I was all
alone, as this dragon falls to Doinb and NIP, that's going to be their sole point secured.
Okay, and the Realm Warp out for Naiyou to get him into a more advantageous position. Solokill, though, misses the public execution. The supreme display of talent, though, going to lock down 2, but Kalix comes in and shuffles Naiyou back into his doom. It's a shutdown picked up for GIDEON, and Doinb is the next target as Jiwoo will get on the board as well. It'll be Kalix dropping to leave. It's just a 2-for-1 overall in favor of Nongshim, but their health bars are in dire straits, and they'll try to back away here. Kingen waiting for that tunnel to come back off of cooldown, and he'll be able to stay right in that pit for as long as he damn pleases. NIP will head on to the defensive.
Nongshim's done a really nice job of cutting into that gold lead for NIP. That gold lead is now in their hands for Nongshim, but hey, damage has been dealt. Soul point has been secured by NIP. And it is a good fight from Nongshim, as, you know, GIDEON, good sidestep on the solo kill. The Ambessa was a bit isolated. Kalix finds the re-engage, and then Doinb on the top side. He played really hard for Jiwoo, just wasn't able to clean him up. As Doinb falls, well, pretty close to actually finding the Corki, but ends up being a man advantage for Nongshim off the skirmish, whereas Dragon did go to the side of NIP. And again, that soul point pickup going to be big. Now that is used to threaten that soul point coming in. They can use that for the rest of the game.
Just always be able to force the fight, which you know is something that NIP love to do on those neutral objectives. Don't see anybody in too strong of a state right now, other than Solokill, who really has taken advantage of the fact that Kingen had a tough time in that early game, nearing that Shojin, I believe, second item here on the Ambessa. And that'll be a really strong power spike for himself. See if they want to try to force any fights around there. Meanwhile, we got the solo laners of Nongshim having some tough times, but GIDEON having a great performance. This is a player that, you know, it's kind of bounced around both in the LPL and LCK, but having a great game here so far, as we get a ton of damage being issued back onto Kalix as he dies for the 4th time this game.
Yeah, been a tough one for Kalix's Leave. Definitely a player that, I mean, Leave has the mechanical upside to be a really good marksman in the LPL. Just doesn't have that consistency quite yet, but definitely an AD that has the hands. Good shots on the curtain call there from him, as he's able to find Kalix, who, see how it grapes, dead for the fourth time. And yeah, this is, honestly, NIP, I mean, it's been kind of back and forth with trading picks, but it has been the objective control that's been in NIP's favor that I think has been the big story so far, because that advantage is really the one that NIP can now lean on moving forward.
She brought the gold back to an even game, to an even state at this point, as Doinb and alongside Solokill able to get advantages over their lane counterparts so far. They found really good opportunities to get themselves numbers advantages in these side lanes. We're going to try to find another opportunity here as Niket does not land that Tempered Fate. It's been a good opportunity to get another kill on the board, but instead we will likely be waiting until either Otacon is started up on the top side or this Dragon is going to be eventually, inevitably, fought over here, as NIP could be awaiting that Infernal Soul.
Otacon gonna be tickled has been spotted very early by NIP, and Nongshim taking a lot of damage. They haven't really pulled Otacon to a corner. In fact, they've pulled it closer to NIP, which is kind of an oopsie. That said, Leave, okay, guy has to burn his flash off the setup. Good find by Kingen, but Kalix being low, Nongshim, them tickling Otacon definitely did not pay off in their favor.
Well, wondering if that's enough for Nongshim to want to back away. Instead, NIP now going back towards the Otacon. We got a good old classic dance up here on the top side of the map. This major objective is down to about 4,000 HP. Going to be taken on down by both sides and secured by GIDEON, who now lands a knock up on Naiyou before getting pushed away by the supreme display of talent. Lehends tanking up 5 members with the Unbreakable Will, but eventually should be in some danger. The Tempered Fate is big. It lands on GIDEON, but King with the 3-man knock up can buy some time. The damage on NIP, though, is just too large. Deadly Flourish will land onto the Rek'Sai, and will be another kill headed over to the Jhin. Leave has a double, and will be looking for more as he walks on the long side of the lane to try to finish off the rest of these members. Another Deadly Flourish connects as GIDEON could be in some trouble. It's a 2v3 and not for long as Doinb gets another kill on GIDEON, and Jiwoo is not long for this world either. One final Q will force a Valkyrie, and the final Deadly Flourish does not connect. But Doinb should be able to chase this one down. One is all said and done. A delayed ace could be in store for Ninjas in Pyjamas of the LPL.
W could be back up here shortly. Yeah, Jiwoo has it. He's going to be able to sneak on out of there. But again, Dragon's up, available for NIP. It is their sole TP coming in, but Naiyou should be able to secure it with a smite.
They know that this could be the game decided right here. A teleport comes in from King, and they want to try to close in and pick up any stragglers here on NIP, but the Dragon was taken all too fast. And with Solokill and Niket rejoining the fray, that'll be a free soul picked up for the red side.
Big advantage for NIP now for the rest of the game. Infernal Soul especially scales well with the Jhin, as just given how his passive works, you get more mileage out of building those stats, getting that damage in your inventory. Jhin can make more of it with the Infernal Soul now as well. So a nice little boon for NIP secured now for the rest of the game, as we'll see Lehends is looking.
Here we go. Another snap engage on a solo kill. What a Tempered Fate from Niket, holding everything in the balance until the supreme display of talent comes through. A 2-for-1 so far, but Naiyou is very low and taken down by the Boss Bomb. And you can see now the Otacon passive providing some work, taking Solokill down to less than half HP. Jiwoo eats the 4th shot, but will not be taken down as Leave seemingly on fire with the curtain calls and the deadly flourishes here in this game number 1. Nongshim pops the redemption as they will try to take down this tier 2 turret now with Niket and Leave here to try and defend it, and Solokill headed back to try and make it a 3-for-3. Leave's damage is too big though. The collapse from Kalix is not enough until finally it will be Leave taken down. Solokill eventually will collapse onto the Azir, and Jiwoo once again will be able to escape with less than 100 HP.
I mean, Leave went down, but he made his presence felt in that fight as it was him stepping up onto GIDEON. that got an IP, the kill that really started that chain of events. And a good play at that by Leave. I know that he goes down, but I think that the play that he started was very positive for his team as they take down that mid-outer turret and get the gold back in their favor.
It's been a weird game so far, Cubby. We got back and forth action. Never really sure who is in the lead. NIP have the Soul. Nongshim have the Otacon buff. Which of those is going to matter more? Only time will tell. The gold nearing even at this point. As Nongshim want to avoid being the ugly duckling, the lone representative from the LCK to not make it into the knockout stage of the ASI. The NIP is not making it easy for them.
They don't want to be just a ramen brand, Grapes. To be more than just the noodles.
Has this team ever made it to international competition? Is this their first
Nongshim,
time?
No. First time going abroad.
Opportunity
Yeah.
to make a legacy for themselves. I will say, love, big fan. You know, not hashtag not an ad, but big fan of the brand themselves and their products. So always have to be a fan of the Noodle Boys as well.
It's quite fun to have them be a part of the LCK and now a part of ASI. As we get further into this one, I mean, the one positive for Nongshim is that if they can get an Elder Flip, yes, Infernal Soul is disadvantaged. They're staring down for the rest of the game, but if they can maybe score an Elder Flip, I mean, the Dragons were taken so quickly, you're guaranteed to get an Elder here as Gideon gets stunned up.
Crescent Guard is going to provide a lot of value, though, as nobody wants to go and hit that Xin Zhao, knowing that all of their spells will be put to waste. As it is just a Tempered Fate being burned for that Crescent Guard. We have Baron spawn on the top side. Game really even at this point. And with the way that Gideon is playing right now, alongside Jiwoo, is very, realistic. That Nongshim could be able to win this despite the Infernal Soul belonging to NIP.
Yeah, it feels kind of even. I don't think this game should be even.
Should be and is very, very different. Yeah.
Yeah. As NIP, I do really like their comp this game. It's a wee bit scary though. Doinb.
Now some damage here. Lehends is down to half HP. He might be forced to head back to base. We'll see if he has a spellbook teleporter of some sort. I don't believe he does. Instead, swapping to Ghost. And is instead going to try to run back to the Baron Pit as fast as possible. I don't think that they spotted that he's on a base. Nice Valkyrie away. Oh, Jiwoo just broke their ankles. My goodness. Looking like Prime Kyrie out here with those fancy footworks.
Some good stick handling there on the mouse and keyboard for Jiwoo. As Kingen now going to be the next focus. He's got to get creative.
On a bit of a solo mission on his own. He's got 4 members of NIP chasing him down. The Void Rush going to buy some time. Lehends on the way. Another tunnel out, and Kingen will survive. And now here comes the rest of Nongshim as Lehends has an Unbreakable Will on him and will be taken down by the 4th shot of Leave. Go down for his top laner, Sins. And it's now a 4v5 on the map for Ninjas in Pyjamas.
One of those questions that I needed to see answered this game for NIP was, can Solokill and Bessa scale and carry? That's definitely been a yes as Solokill.
Kalix. Oh, nice flash away again from Doinb. He gets away from that Emperor's Divide. A knock-up lands from Gideon onto Solokill. And now the bodies are starting to drop. The Tempered Fate will lock down the rise, and eventually Jiwoo will take him down. He valks forward for a triple, looking for a quadra. Only Niket remains. Jiwoo in the ASI Invitational. It's 1 out away. He gets stunned up though by the Cosmic Binding, but the Rocket will finish it off. A pentakill for the Noodle Boy bot laner as Nongshim win the team fight.
A lot of mistakes from NIP in that fight. Lead was too far up. Doinb went golden in a point that I feel like he could have used the Seraph shield to tank up. Instead, he goes golden. And a couple of oopsies in the replay as Naiyou gets forced out. Solokill goes in, takes a lot of damage from Kalix, who goes golden, buys what time he can. But look at Leave. He's fighting Kalix like that. I think that you need to continue to use your space at the Jin. Then Doinb going golden. That shield goes null and void. As the time that shield could have soaked some damage, Doinb was golden, is now an Elder's gone, and Solokill has picked up Jiwoo as Nongshim have picked up the Elder.
Oh man, what happened there? We got Jiwoo down for the next 50 seconds. However, the Elder Dragon is doing a ton of work right now. They've caught out Naiyou as Lehends has landed that pulverize and another stun, and Kalix gets away from the Tempered Fate. It's a 4v5, but again, the Elder buff is going to be able to do a lot of work in terms of burning down Nongshim, but not. It's a supreme display of talent. We'll take Kalix down. Big carries off the table for Nongshim RedForce as NIP get 3, and they're going to push down mid with 5 strong.
NIP just got 3 in the face of an Elder Dragon secured by Nongshim. As Jiwoo's going to spawn soon, it's going to be a 3v5 to end this one, with Gideon and Lehends still having access to Elder.
We'll see if that is going to be enough. They're realm warping the minions in. They know that Jiwoo is about to spawn. There he goes with Guardian Angel intact. A knockup lands from Lehends. Can Nongshim pull off the 3v5? Jiwoo in some trouble, but in comes Gideon, and the burns are starting to come in. A double kill in for the Xin Zhao as Jiwoo has to respond with that Guardian Angel coming back up. NIP will not end the game as Leave and Doinb are forced to run.
Chaos has ensued as Doinb and NIP, again, a little bit too fast, too soon to wrap that one up, and Nongshim able to punish. Again, those Elder buffs were really big, even on the jungle and support only, still able to do so much work in that fight. As Gideon and Nongshim set their sights on this Baron, I don't think NIP is in the position to respond. So, yes, the soul secured by NIP, but Nongshim had managed to take the Elder, take the fights as we get another look. Jiwoo secures the dragon, but was hitting the base. Solokill gets involved and flashes over to take down Jiwoo. And then Gideon, I mean, he does a great job of getting himself out of this one, but Nongshim gets stuck because Kalix gets ran down and puts himself in a really tough spot by trying to hold 3 angles on a Azir. He can't do everything, and the turn from NIP was beautiful off of Naiyou's supreme display of talent, and how they chained the CC from there was wonderful from NIP. It's a great play to get the 3 kills, but there was no world where you were going to end the game there.
I think, Cubby, NIP and Nongshim, they heard about us potentially doing a shoot at the end of this series, because this game is drunk as hell, man. It's a 3,000 gold lead here for Nongshim, but NIP have an inhibitor down in the mid lane. They had the Infernal Soul still, but the team fights have still gone Nongshim's way for the most part, especially off the back of Jiwoo. I was going to go on some tangent before this fight ended up unraveling, but man, Jiwoo having a great performance here in this first game. The longest tenured member of Nongshim coming from their academy system is having a fantastic showing against NIP and Leave.
Bot wave going to be the play. Is Nongshim walking that one in? Kalix and Jiwoo should be able to take care of this turret. And man, I mean, I think we've seen some of the pros and cons of Leave in this game, Grapes, about how, I mean, this guy really is a very talented mechanical AD carry, but oftentimes does play a little bit too fast and too far up for his own good, as Niket does find Kalix, but cannot follow up on that Tempered Fate with the Cosmic Binding, just not in range. As Kalix and Nongshim pick up an inhibitor for themselves, and Kalix.
Ooh, Naiyou in a lot of trouble there. Forced to just throw out the ulti defensively, as the Baron buff still available for Nongshim for the next minute, which means they will be able to take down this inhibitor turret, but not the inhibitor itself. The only one there so far in the bot lane. NIP gonna have to make their stand soon. They have Gideon down to 60%, but with that mid inhibitor going down, Nongshim will back away.
2 inhibs is a really nice pickup here for Nongshim. And being mid and bot too, they can use that pressure to have a good setup coming up here for the Elder Dragon spawn in 90 seconds. As Nongshim have done a lot of good work to build up a pretty big gold lead now, Grapes. I mean, this is a 5k plus gold lead. If Azir is able to pick up a death cap, I mean, that is beating Doinb to a pretty big item. 4 items on Gideon, also significant, and Jiwoo, who has gotten so big in the last few fights, has a big advantage over his opponent and Leave now. So, I mean, Nongshim have done a lot of good work to get themselves back in this game. even staring down the Infernal Soul that was picked up so early by NIP.
Yeah, they were able to claim both major objectives, as well as the Otacon, actually. And so
Yep.
have resulted in pretty even state of things at this point. We got the Elder spawning in 45 seconds. Would be massive if Nongshim were able to pick this one up.
Yeah.
And so instead, just really
Kalix.
generating pressure in the mid lane. They might have caught Doinb out a little bit. Tempered Fate, though, going to connect on to the Zinzao. He's tanky enough to be able to survive. Also has a Guardian Angel in his inventory. We see Jiwoo's about to come off of cooldown as well. Should be available by the time a fight breaks out around this Elder Drake.
Really like how they've tried to use Kalix aggressively this game. I think Azir, in the modern day and age, the modern patch where he's going, Nashor's Tooth, Rywise. Your job as the DPS, the Torpedo Azir build is not nearly as good as what it used to be, right? With a lot of the changes being made, we got to pause Kingen. He can get out.
Oh, there was 4 members in that ultimate from a Doinb, and nicely done by the Rek'Sai to flash away from the public execution. And GIDEON is suddenly in some trouble. Already has that Sterix popped. Remember, still has that Guardian Angel in inventory, so might not actually want to go back to base. Given the stakes at what is available here with this Elder Dragon, Naiyou going in, but Kalix lasagnas the supreme display of talent and flashes away for the Cosmic Binding as well. A ton of cooldowns already off the table now on NIP side as GIDEON is going forward, trying to knock up Doinb. The Crescent Guard will connect in, Jiwoo will pick up the kill, and Leave will go down as well. Big carries now off the table for NIP as a teleport is sent in from Kingen to try to finish off this game. Going for potentially the ultimate onto Niket. The Void Rush forward. That's going to be the Bard dropping. And Kalix with the ultimate still has the opportunity to finish off the top side of the map for Ninjas in Pyjamas. Elder Dragon, not necessary, as the game is won out for that team fight alone. Nongshim RedForce off the back of GIDEON. And their 80 carry Jiwoo with the pentakill will be able to close things out here in 35 minutes time and take game number 1 over NIP.
Wow. I mean, part of me thought NIP was just the better team in that game for the majority of it, but the team fights, the groupings were much better played by Nongshim overall, as they get the best of NIP on the objective setups, and NIP, between Doinb and Leave, playing a few sequences way too fast to make that one happen for themselves, as Nongshim, that Azir, Kalix running the late game. We saw him play a couple fights too fast, but by the end, when he was getting, you know, the 4 items plus, his ability to play out fights was very strong, Grapes, as Kalix was a significant difference maker in that one. Of course, on top of Jiwoo, who did find that pentakill, that was really what initially Nongshim used to turn this game around.
Kalix, what was he, 2 and 9 at the end of that game, but ended up with almost the most damage.
He died 9 times?
And a significant gold. It was at least 8. I don't remember if he died in the last like 5 minutes of that game or so. You could call it a Bausian performance here by this Azir. He's able to rack up gold regardless of the deaths, pick up a couple of kills, and become impactful towards the back end of things. But this game is not won for Nongshim if it was not for Jiwoo and GIDEON, as they had really spectacular performances through and through.
Yeah, I mean, Nongshim, again, I think at times they were a surprise. A positive to watch in the LCK is this is a young core. So seeing, you know, if Kalix could add to the team, if they could figure it out for some maps, was, I think, a pretty entertaining thread for a middle of the pack to lower the pack team in the LCK. And frankly, was something that I felt like was kind of matched by NIP with Doinb and the Youngins for Split 3, Grapes, because this was an approach where bringing in Naiyou, sticking with Solokill, and Leave, and then changing the pieces around them with Niket as well. Some of the more younger and impressive players in the LPL are now found on NIP with Doinb trying to work with these young guys to be greater than the sum of their parts. We saw pieces of that in this one come together, but not the overall start to finish win, despite the Dragons being snagged early on by NIP. And frankly, when that soul was secured, it was looking very NIP favored.
Just the carries, they did not get ahead enough. Leave had some really good, well-executed team fights on the Jhin, was able to, you know, find basically a very high percentage of hit rate, I should say. Not 100%, but very close to it on some of those curtain calls and things like that. But Jiwoo and eventually Kalix were just stronger in this game, and that was the difference. just were able to provide more in terms of DPS. And you know, Naiyou
This was
did
a
his
great
best
find.
in this game. I thought he had a pretty good game, but
Yeah.
the rest of the team was not able to live up to that expectation.
That was a very beautiful find there from NIP to find Kalix, but this for me was a call that was very amiss. I just, knowing that Gideon has the Elder Dragon buff still available, I think trying to end into him is so difficult. And Gideon really made them feel the pain here, as Jiwoo got a lot of gold from this. And then the final fight, Kalix, great reactions from him, was able to play this fight out very well on Azir after using the Zanyas and the Flash to get out of some very big tools utilized by Nongshim.
And they were able to close it out and take game number 1, putting the LCK 1 game away from having all 3 of their seeds make it to the knockout stage.
Yeah,
That's
that's
surprise
just-
there. The pentakill recipient.
I
Jiwoo
have a feeling
getting
that's going to be a 5-0, Grapes, as at least for Jiwoo, making sure that we stay awake up here on the caster desk.
Yeah, I mean, whether it's coffee or any other substances, make sure you take that in, getting ready for game number 2, as we had a lot of fun here.
I
Definitely
need
more
all the
fun to
PDs
come
I can get. More coffee required. Yeah.
here on. So we still got the Miami,
Dude,
Ohio Cubby.
My league PDA picture is like actually the worst thing on the planet, though. I have no idea what the lighting was for that, but I look like a gremlin in that photo.
It was great. We got some great analysis from you from Miami, Ohio Cubby in the first part of that.
Outstanding.
Of that draft.
I'm glad. You know, my grandpa did radio for 60 years, and in the mornings he would be on the 8s, which is a very common phrase where, you know, you have local updates. He did the agriculture report, and he would go back to his office chair and catnap in between every single early morning broadcast in order to make sure that he was rested for the day. I did not get my grandpa's skill in either the voice or my napping ability with that one. So,
Well, you know,
gotta lock in moving forward here, Grapes. Stay
give
awake.
yourself some credit. Boys is pretty good, but yes, was not able to wake up for
his
the
voice.
8s.
Legendary.
Slept through. Cubby slept through a little bit more than just
I mean,
the 6 and the 7.
it's the draft. I was here for when it mattered, right? Anyway.
Yeah, draft doesn't matter, clearly.
Not one of the prouder moments,
but
but it happened. Let's keep on moving, Grapes, and get to our next game after the break.
speaking of, be back in a few. Game number 2 about to come to your screens. Once we come back from this break, Nongshim